everybody. My name is Chris Farrow. Welcome to my channel. It's Tuesday, November 25th. It's Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving. It is 6:03 p.m. and I'm super excited to talk to you today about 90 Day, honey. It's the other way. We're towing it up. It's season 7. It's episode 12. It's Khali Pyala. So I don't know. That's how I think you say it. I'm not quite sure, my loves, but that's where I'm going to start. Oh, goodness gracious. Hello. Let's get in. I have I do have some sad news. I don't mean to start with the sad news. It's just that, listen, just like the streets, and I'm just going to keep saying the streets in regards to Reddit and Instagram and the internet streets, told us that Madelein's maid Beauty no longer is a formidable brick and mortar. I mean, it's just no longer a business that exists. And I want to tell you that the streets have already said that Sumit's family cafe is no longer happening, no longer even on God's green earth. The family cafe is no more. And listen, this episode is going to really paint a picture why. So maybe we should start with Sumit and Anthony. Oh my God, Sumit and Anthony. Sorry, I was looking down and I was looking at Manon and Anthony. Let's start with Jenny and Sumit, though. So obviously we know that Sumit has come up with the really dumb idea to start a cafe. It's because he himself was working in his friend Rohit's cafe, and that went under. And that man had a bunch of experience and a bunch of equipment. So somehow Sumit decided to use whatever fame that he has ascertained by putting his whole family and their business on this show to, I guess, being like the family cafe is it. So we saw that they were pretty much in a closet with walls put up in the closet to make the closet smaller. I mean, it was a sectioned off closet. He decided to start a cafe in basically what felt like when you go to get a Thai massage and you're in a big room and they've just used curtains to give you some privacy. And that's fine when you're getting a massage. It's not so much fine when you have to cook, wash dishes, multiple people. So obviously it was tiny, and that alone was cause for concern. And we've been knowing that there's not a water spout. Not having a water spout for a restaurant is cause for disaster, in so many ways. Yay! So nice to see you all. So truly, that also was insane. And we had to we would just stomach that and be like, oh, okay. Then Sumit's like, yeah, let me tell you who the workers of this place are. My family and my wife, Jenny. And it's like, Jenny can't do anything. She can't cook spaghetti. She doesn't want to stand for more than 2 minutes at a time. What are you doing? And God bless, the things we know about your parents, besides them not wanting you to, of course, be with Jenny, is that they're yoga people. Let them do that. And they're also getting older. That's why they were so mad about you dating Jenny, because they were like, we want to retire. We don't want you to date someone that's retired. We want to retire. We're tired. But you decided to date someone, marry someone, be with someone who's going to be tired for the rest of her life. It's not long, so Jenny is seemingly in this episode a little better at the espresso machine than she was in the previous episode, but it doesn't last long because she starts coughing, honey, full mouth coughing, and we're like, what's happening? And it's because she's upset that there's smoke from the cooking. That's in a very small room. That wasn't a really room. Wasn't an actual room. Fake room. Kitchen. Cooking, smoke coming outside. I mean, it is a cause for disaster. And the truth of the matter is, anyone could have seen this. It's remarkable that it actually happened. I'm surprised that Sumit's parents weren't like, no, this is dumb. They just seem so vocal about so many things. This would have been a great thing to put their at least 6 toes down to be like, "No, Sumit, this is not gonna work. We're, like, not cooks, and this is a really shitty space, and we're definitely not gonna let you, like, go into this blindly." Maybe you could be like, "Chris," I'm gonna hold your hand while you say this, "Chris, maybe this was just, I don't know, the storyline for this season because they didn't want to, like, either show us what was actually happening, nothing, it's really boring, or whatnot." Because you're right, it doesn't make logical sense. My dad owned and ran a restaurant a long time ago. And I have never worked in restaurants, obviously. And I love cooking. And all this to say that there's not like a place in this world where I would open up a restaurant right now and the cook is my dad, who's a great cook. And it's why? It's because he's old. He is. He's too old. Like, when you actually are in a restaurant and you know what, like, cooks do, like, what people like, not, and obviously when you're in a restaurant, there's, like, sous chefs, the process of cooking is there's the heat component, the heating component, there's the chopping and all of that. Like, it's not, like, just stuff that, like, old people can do. Old people can make fun, yummy things when they have all day long to do it in the comfort of their own home and they can sit down and no one's like screaming and at them for like more. Well, maybe the people are screaming at them, but they can fucking wait, like it's not like a customer with money burning holes in their pockets. So anyway, all this comes from the negative Nancy of Rohit, who has come over to instead of save the day, I guess, like, rain on their parade. But it's a bunch of fucking reality. And Jenny's like so upset. Jenny's like, "I don't understand when Rohit comes over. Everyone's so happy to see him, and we all know he's so upsetting." And it's like, well, it is funny that, like, everyone knows that when he comes, it's not going to be like, "Wow, this is such a great endeavor, and I really feel strongly about this. What a great, smart thing you've done, Sumit." But Sumit, when he sees this man, I mean, the love just pours out of Sumit's face. He's like, "Oh, my best friend." Jenny's so confused. And yeah, Rohit's like, "Yeah, I came for the spaghetti. I'll get one of those yummy spaghettis." Which is hilarious to say. And it makes Jenny even more upset. And the thing about it is, Jenny, well, you should definitely know that that's shitty food. I'm not going to let Jenny leave God's green earth all the years that she's lived here thinking that that's not food you can absolutely make fun of and is stupid and dumb. And by saying that, I'm saying this. Food is food, it's nourishment. And there's a lot of people in this world who, like, I certainly wish they didn't have to have, like, food insecurity. And so food isn't dumb in the sense that, like, I'm sure people would love that spaghetti in some places. But what I'm saying is that you cannot serve people food that they're used to homemade whole foods with like actual cooking. And then you cannot have the audacity to serve what she did, which is obviously ragu and like, God, I forgot the name of that kind of brand of powdered Parmesan cheese that comes in the green. It's not Sargento. Oh, what is the name of the powdered cheese? God, this is such a 90s thing. If this was the 90s, I'd be like, "Oh my God, I know it," but like, okay, wait. Powdered Parmesan cheese. Because it's annoying me that I can't think of like, oh, Kraft. Ugh, it's just Kraft. Oh my God, it's Kraft. Yeah, it's just ragu and Kraft, honey. I mean, she really, and then you're gonna be upset, Jenny, if someone makes fun of you about that. You should have some shame. Shasla was very fast to know. Oh, it's been so long. I get it. It's annoying to grate cheese. It is. It's annoying to grate cheese, and the harder it's annoying. And, you can get one of those microplaners, but we all know what happens. That gooey ass, yummy ass cheese gets stuck in all the grates, and having to clean it is a full on nightmare because you can't just use water. You have to use a friction. And like, if you use obviously a sponge, it's a grater. It's going to like tear up that sponge. How the hell are you supposed to clean it? How do you clean? It's annoying. And yet, grated cheese, pre-grated cheese is so gross. It doesn't taste the same, it doesn't melt the same, doesn't look the same, doesn't smell the same. It's wild how different it is. Anyway, so after that, Rohit's like, "Look, first of all, Jenny, get out of here." Jenny's like, "Here's some free coffee." He's like, "I wouldn't pay for this anyway. It tastes like you're coughing. Your coffee tastes like you're coughing." And then he's like, "Why are your parents being the cooks? And why do you think that was a good idea? Look at the person making the coffee. You think that's gonna work here? Also, who's here? Not no one. No one's here. What a shitty idea you had in the worst place possible, and you made bad decision after bad decision." And Sumit's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna come you know, be happy for me." And he's like, I will no, but I can definitely feel like I can tell you, I, you were smart not to invite me to the opening." At one point, they say they're not fancy here serving pizza. And I was like, that'd be really great. Can you just make pizza? The thing about pizza is that you can do a bunch of prep work and you can just kind of cook it on there. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that would be easier than cooking like little pockets of potatoes on the way they're doing, which is over like one little gas stove. But of course, then you're like, Chris, they would have to have the ovens for pizza. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. They have like no space. I think that like with the space they had, it's crazy that they had like this size of menu that they did. Also, it's crazy they have no water source. Sumit seems dumb. Or he seems like a little slow. That's a horrible word for me to use. A little delayed. A little without all the facilities one would enjoy for discerning decision making. And I think that we all can fall victim to that, but like it's interesting that he really had to be sat down by his friend and like illuminated to every poor choice he had made. And then just to find out that the family cafe closed is kind of just like, Sumit, what? Why don't you all go back to doing yoga? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh. If your parents do yoga that well, then like start streaming yoga, honey. Like get with Shida and then just like start making like a 90-day yoga community. You know, like maybe it's like, as we know, maybe it's a wellness community, is what I was going to say. As we know, in 90 Day Fiance world, you can come up with a certain amount of fame and then you can do whatever you want with it. For instance, Miona is like, oh, I'm going to use my fame to launch a beauty business. And certainly, I'm surely Madelein assumingly did some version of that or wants to, right? You know, like Shekinah of Sarper. Oh my God, no. Shekinah of Sarper and oh God, I realize I'm gonna have my cousins just calling me over and over again. No. Oh no. This happens where, you guys, let me say this right now, and I don't know how to, you have to help me. I have little nieces and nephews that are very cute, but what happens is they start to call me ad nauseum, and I have do not disturb, but for some reason it bypasses my do not disturb. I don't know if it's because I think I have a do not disturb setting that is if you call twice in a row, it gets through because I'm like, don't want someone who's like suddenly needing to get a hold of me to not be able to get a hold of me because my ass is like, I want to take a nap. At the same time, my nieces and nephews will call me ad nauseum, and then like this, it'll start to get through. Okay. Oh no. How do I do not disturb? Okay, so sorry I have to do this because they're gonna keep calling. Oh, control center. No. General. Okay. Maybe it stopped now. Oh, I'm so sorry, my loves. It's so dumb. I'm getting like just yeah, they and I love them, but like, you know, when they want to talk, they want to talk. Focus. Do not disturb. There it is. Wait 1 second. Do not disturb. And then how do I do the one where I'm like, oh, options, great. Show head no. Where's the one that's like, well, All right. Well, I'm so sorry. I took time out to do this because I got scared. Okay. Well, I'm gonna deal with this off camera. Okay. So sorry. Okay. So I think the pizza would be fancy. I would love them to serve pizza there. I said that. I said that they, yeah, basically, um, Rohit said they were going to fail. That is what happened. I had moved on from that. We're talking about beauty sources. What I talked about this wellness community because, oh, I know. Okay. So I'm back. So obviously, 90 Day Fiance celebrities can go into their different fields, right? And like, Paula went into weightlifting or whatever. But Jasmine, for a moment, was getting into wellness, like she, like protein powders and stuff because she like worked out and stuff like that. Maybe now she can go like, I'm assuming, mommy influencer. Um, which is like, I don't follow Lauren and I don't follow Libby, but like that's basically what they are. They show their kids on camera and they can like, say like, oh, well, Ellie loves the new blah blah blue and hopefully get that sent to them. But other wellness people, you know, Ashley has gone on a health journey. So like she is basically, like a fit influencer. And I think that where like Shida of Bilal and Shida obviously was into yoga. My whole point of telling you this was that I think that getting into some sort of wellness community where you like band together with other 90 Day Fiance people and you like stream either like yoga flows or whatever you wanted to do would be instantaneously a better business option than this um, cafe. Now, the other thing about it is we never know exactly what their contracts say. Like the TLC contracts for them to be on the show is intense. So I don't know what they're allowed to do also. Because it feels like it'd be only too easy to like build a platform and like do lives, and just have people, show up to your like yoga flow, that you're doing from India, which sounds really obviously authentic. It is. And have them, host a room with like 700 people in a Zoom following, Sumit's parents both like doing modified yoga positions. Smart. You know what's not? Curry potato pockets. And then Jenny on the espresso machine. Okay, Luke and Madelein. So, um, listen, he's like, listen, the conversation with my friend Brian, where Brian was like, "Why the hell are you with her? It makes no sense, and you obviously don't even have a good reason. You can't tell me one reason to be with her other than the fact that it makes you look cool, Luke. You just want to look and be and feel cool, loved, hip, like a travel bro with a success story." And that's not it. And Luke's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, but I'm still gonna fight for this relationship. It's all I have." And Luke, I mean, I will say this: if I can't imagine being a person that dates Luke after watching him on this show. Like, I can't imagine unless you were like, I'm gonna be the new unless you go into this nefariously and you're like, I want to be the new Madeleine. I want Luke to give me all of his $2 and I'm gonna like just treat him slightly nicer than she does. But the thing about Luke is that he supposedly doesn't have money. The biggest like fun reversal would be if Luke actually has like a bunch of money. Like if he for some reason really did hit it big in like Bitcoin early on and he just pretends to be the popper, will get his money from his dad and all that stuff, is an asshole that way, and keeps telling, Madeleine that she has nothing, but will at the very end, when push comes to shove, like show up with a couple of dollars just to string her along, would be kind of like a fun game. But truly, the opposite happens where he's like, I have no money except I put some stuff together and moved some things around and came out with $3,000 to try and get Madeleine bad. And the way to do it is buying her a dog. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay. It's a toy cup something. Bazoo something. Look at this dog. Look at that dog's face. That dog is in hell. She's so happy about that dog. It's like that Rugrats character. You're welcome. I forgot her name. It's my fault. Listen, a dog can really hide a multitude of sins. A joyful new puppy, that's like a new baby. There's a reason why, like distractions work. It's unfortunate, but it's true. especially ones that like give you love and comfort and sweetness and cuteness when that's all you want. She doesn't only just want that. She wants, yeah, she wants a man to do all the physical labor for her. She also wants to make money, but she wants him to provide. And here's the thing. Obviously, she wants that. She's never lied about it. It's the same thing like Anfisa never lied about what she wanted. All they do is get with bros that promise them they can provide the same level of lifestyle that a couple of dates, that they went on vibed to be. But in actuality, the maintaining of the lifestyle is too much, right? Like a lot of these bros will like ball, and ball's a big word, but when they go travel, so it's like, yeah, Madeline, let's go out to dinner, let's go to drinks, and then da, 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 and I'll buy you this, and then like yeah, I'm gonna go home in like 4 days, and then I don't have to buy you things, and for those 10 weeks I'm not there, maybe I'll send rent, maybe not, and then when I come back, it's all you expect that day in and day out, and it's like, yeah, that is true, but why not? That's what you have set up. It's that's what you're promising. You haven't said any different. She has told you exactly what she wants. She wants you to provide it, and you should financially give her money. I don't know why I said financially give her money, as if you can give people money in ways that are not financially. I guess you can, in a way, give people money through the kindness of their heart. But truly, if you're giving someone money, it's financially, as well as emotionally. Um, she's like, pouty, but she's happy about the dog. And then they decide to go pack. They're on their way to like, I guess the wedding is happening, and they're like, she gets talked into this. And then what ends up happening, which is really interesting, is that she feels like he isn't good enough for her, and she feels like he should try to impress her and be like a good guy, but he doesn't want to. He just wants to throw money at her enough to pacify her, enough to like allow him to just tag along to her life. She's like, yeah, you get the bags, I have the dog. And he's like somehow upset at her for not helping him with the bags. And I want to be like, why would you think she would? Sure, there's other people in this world that, like, when you're with them, and they're your partner in life, you can certainly assume that they'll help with their own bags or get their own bags, and if maybe if you are the stronger of the two, and any gender can be that, or any person can be that, maybe you get the bigger bag. But for this person, it's very obvious that she wouldn't be touching her own bag. And when she's like, look at me, look at him, he's not that big, but she is quite tiny. She's right. Madeline is a vapid, vain person, but certainly so is he. And she's like living up to her end of the bargain. And he's the one that's not. He wants her to continue to be young, very young looking. And he wants her to continue to be attractive in his eyes. She's never turned old, and she's never, you know, not been attractive to him. So the only things that have happened are he has lied and not given her what he promised. In this car ride, he's upset that she didn't help with the luggage, and then when he tries to like be like, that's not cool, she pushes back and she's like, no, you're not going to take power, you're still like on the outs. Just because you got me this cute dog doesn't mean that like I trust you, or that I'm going to allow you to tell me anything. And he starts to be like, I don't know if I want to live this way for the rest of my life. And she's like, oh, I don't care. I don't care what you want or need. What do you have to, like, what is it? Why don't you get that? You exist to open doors and give me money. And then I, as long as those things are happening, will have sex with you. What is the problem? Yeah, it's so interesting. I think that the contracts that people sign unwittingly in transactional relationships that they want to renege on, always come back to bite them in the butts. And I feel like it's interesting because like I talked about I talked about sister wives for the past hour from 5 to 6. And the idea of the contract that Cody Brown signed, either with God or the Mormon Church or all the wives, to take on the patriarchal head of the household priest, have 4 wives, have all of these kids, certainly was a contract that he signed. Like, I'm sure there probably was an actual contract, but he, in every moment signed up and kept signing up to like call the shots and do this well. And then when push comes to shove and he starts not doing it well, he starts blaming other people when his actions changed. And it sort of feels the same way. This kind of like, it's funny, it feels like travel bros. And this is the idea of travel bros. Like the idea of travel bros, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, are that there are dudes that are like, there's not quality women in America. This is like American specific, that treat me well. And well means that treat me like I matter, that I am seen. They treat me like I'm a contender, that I have a possibility of impregnating them, or they don't, like listen to me, or they don't. A lot of these travel bros be like, they're not feminine enough, or they're too bossy, or whatever it is. And so then we get this like, oh, I'm going to go to either South America or I'm going to go to Eastern Europe. I'm going to find, who I think I should be with, blah, blah, blue. And inevitably, in both those situations, you're going to get probably someone who is at a percentage wise even more traditional in like the gender role aspect. So that if you are a travel bro and you go to Eastern Europe and or a travel bro, you go to like South America, odds are that you are going to get with a woman that certainly thinks you should provide and protect financially. You are the breadwinner. You are the one that like brings home money. She cooks, she cleans, she raises the kids. She looks good. Like, I'm not saying these are good things, and I'm not saying this is how things should be. That's not Chris Farrow telling you these things. But listen, like obviously that is what happens in some of these straight traditional gender role, transactional and or conservative or trad wife or any of those things where it's like what is expected is the unwritten contract that I will do this and you will do that, right? The travel bros are already men that feel insecure. They couldn't make it in America for whatever reason, like with American women or whatever. And that could be like a bunch of reasons. It could be because they feel like they didn't ascertain enough financial success to make, a woman feel safe and comfortable here. Maybe that money will stretch in different ways in different places. Or, like, yeah, like they think that they can get hotter women to them, more attractive women in their eyes in different places, again, because like their status in America isn't high for whatever reason. Um, but inevitably, I hate to hear when they complain about not living up to the women that they end up being with in other countries, because it's like, oh, you thought it was going to be so much better for you. You thought that you weren't the problem. Oh, now you get it. Like now it's a little more obvious that like you would have had this situation anywhere because of your mentality, because like there are things that you are wanting to get over or get better at or accept or move through. And herein lies the rub. um Take this off. Eek. Basically, they just decide maybe to break up. But here's the thing. Are they going to break up in this moment or not? We don't know. Now, off camera, honey, on the streets, I'll tell you that Madelein put up a very disrespectful Instagram. That's like, I broke up with him because she said, him have small dick in it. By the way, you can see on my TikTok and my Instagram, I did a less than a minute roundup of the 90 Day Fiancé news, which is, I think I put this on YouTube too. So it's going to be a little fun feature I'll do. So if you want to see the actual Instagram posts for this drama, which is her saying that they broke up because he has a small dick, that's in the video. Also, you guys, I'm sure you know, in the world, Shekinah and Sarper are like pretending to be broken up, so that's in there. Also, Chuck of Libby and Andre passed away, and that's really, really sad. I didn't mention that in the video, but that also happened. Anyway, so the Luke and Madelein thing we know is not gonna ever survive, and we know it to be super toxic in Gino and Jasmine like. And I also feel like, again, any person that pretends to be breaking up wants to be on last resort. I would I would love her to be on last resort because I think I would like to see her interact with someone else besides Luke. But I would need them to put her on with someone that speaks Spanish. I mean, if she was on with Jasmine, could you? I mean, oh no, I feel bad because I wouldn't want to. I already was like, I don't want to watch it, but I do kind of want to watch it. They could be on Single Life. They don't talk. It would have to be. Oh, I guess Paradise. Wait, they could do not Last Resort. They could do Hunt for Love together. If Jasmine is not with Matt and Madelein is not with Luke, that'd be crazy. But I think Jasmine would hate Madelein. I think Madelein would hate Jasmine. It'd be like two beta fishes together, you know? Okay. Let's move on to Manon and Anthony. So Anthony is like, I have the best idea ever. We're like, no, you don't. This is not gonna be great. Have you met your wife? He's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna take her. I'm gonna take her to a surprise. And I was like, why are you taking Manon on a surprise? Anthony, you don't speak French and you have never been here before. And this is her country. But for some reason, he's like, I'm gonna surprise her. And producers. And this is after we get a bunch of like cats eating cheese footage. I'm like, all those cats eat cheese in France? That's what happens. All these cats just get the best cheese possible. Is that good for all their tummies? Anyway. He's like, yeah, the thing about Manon and I, we're big cheese fanatics, and goat cheese specifically, we love goat cheese together, brought us together. We're like, oh my God. And he's like, so I told her that we're going to go to this special fromagerie because she has this favorite cheese, and I had found the favorite cheese, and we're going to make favorite cheeses together. We're like, okay. Now, when she gets there, she starts driving in, and she's like, this doesn't look fromagerie like. He's like, oh, it's a farm. And she seems to like already think it's suspect. I guess I was a little bit like, why do you think it's suspect already? Because I would, unless you've been to many different like fromageries, I mean, I'm assuming that it starts with the goats. You can't just like have goats like in like an industrial setting. There has to be like some farm aspects. So she gets there, and does she love it? Is she really happy and joyful? Is she a fun spirit to be around? Is she like, Anthony, thank you so much. I have such a loving husband. I'm so grateful for him, and thank you for thinking about me and things I would like, and what a special day we'll have. Nope. She starts complaining from, I mean, dusk till dawn. She is upset. She is like cock-a-doodle doing. She is like, I am so upset. Why didn't you tell me what you wear? I will. This is so sorry. I mean, you're like, Chris, shut the fuck up. And I get it. My French accent is, leaves a lot to be desired. But she's like, I had to wear what I usually wear. You know, me, Manon, business casual. You're like, why? Bitch, why are you in business casual? Why? Why would you even like think about going to a fromagerie in business casual? Why? I mean, it's like we're not running a board meeting. Why are you like in a stiff blazer? Like you're in France. What business casual is like? First of all, Manon actually said that like it was her style. That business casual was her style. And I want to be like, that's insane. Like if you were a bored woman, I can like if even if like I'm trying to think of like, you know, I don't know. If I can't think of any powerful, that is so sad. Like I don't know any SEO CEO female names. My God. Rachel Zoe. No, it's like Victoria Beckham. There's a fat, you know, it's like moving on from my own like disappointment in myself. My point is business casual can't possibly be your main vibe and like the way you want to look. I mean, what are you, me in the 90s? I unfortunately didn't know how to dress. And so I dressed so much from Express that certainly like in like parts of my high schoolness, my business casual maybe was a vibe I like wittingly take. But like in 2025, in the year of our Lord, and she's like a plus size beauty influencer. And so all of that to say you have to have a style that is not business casual. And you would not on God's green earth think that you should wear business casual to make cheese. Not ever. Like how about I don't know, a flowy dress, a flowy Provence dress, like something romantic or something like date like or whatever, or like on something prairie like or country like a Doan or something. I mean, honey, this is the time. Get something like that has a smocked puffed sleeve and a smocked bodice and just pretend that you live making cheese. I'm not, that was wild to me. She has these like huge, cloggy, thick soled, heeled platform shoes. She's in hell. She's like so upset. She's like, no, I don't want to do this. It smells so bad. The man is like, hi, welcome to my farm. She's like, it smells so bad. I don't want to be here. He's like, oh, well, guess what? You are, and I'm on camera. So thank you. Does someone want to come milk the goats? And Anthony feels bad. So Anthony's like, me, we, and she's like, oh, so she has to, break Anthony's heart, who's milking goats. She says that her favorite cheese is San Marcelin. So then I looked it up. Let me tell you right now, when I looked it up, because I was like, what kind of cheese is this? It initially was made from goat's milk. But the region, the way that French people do things is that like they claim regionhood. They're like, you can't call your sparkling wine champagne, of course, unless it's from Champagne, the region of that. And, Bordeaux, the same thing, which I get and good for them. And this cheese is called San Marcelin. It's from the region. And it used to be a goat's milk only cheese. And now, because the demand became so high, and I guess goat harvesting season or goat milk harvest season, I mean, for some reason isn't as lucrative or the cup doesn't runneth over as much as the cow milk cup. Honey, I guess good to know, does it produce way more milk? Maybe because they're bigger. And so that's why this entire cheese town was like, let's move it over to cows, which I thought it was like interesting because it has to taste so different. And I low-key am trying to eat more goat cheese over cow cheese. I think it's like easier to digest. I think that for me, it's sort of like it makes me feel less puffy, but I certainly miss cheese all the time. Okay, I mean dairy cheese, and I still will eat it because I can't possibly be without it. But anyway, at some point they're like, look, sit down with your stupid shoes and chill out. I put it here. Oh yeah. Oh, wrong thing. Here. Ha ha ha. And it did look like a beautiful goat cheese log spread. There's like some crackers. Look at the lighting, look at her uncomfortable blazer that looks like she has a deep V-neck shell underneath. Can you imagine this look to be what you were going to make cheese in? She's like, again, it's so weird to me that she's complaining about what she's wearing at the farm. And it was like, well, you assumed you were going to do some sort of physical labor and you wore like a blazer with silk shell underneath. Oh my God. She really yells at him. She's like, why did you pick these? I'm so upset. You'll never do anything for me. I have to do everything all the time for me. I have to do everything for me, and then every time I want you to do something for me, you fuck it up. What do you do for him? She's like, I moved to France. I don't know why I want to keep doing it. And my relationship with Ben is so much better, but my relationship with you stinks like this cheese. God bless. And I'd be like, bitch, your relationship with everyone sucks. How could it just be me? Your sister hates you. Your parents hate you. I mean, your country hates you. Those goats hate you. That man, the man that works the goats, that you just kept complaining about how it smelled so much on TV about his goats, he fucking told me how much he hated you in French. I don't speak French, and I knew what he said. He was like, why did you marry these? I don't know. Now I think Manon is putting on an act for this show. The fact that she can have such over the top reactions that seem so highly dramatic and so highly toxic without having anyone have ever told her enough to like in the moment be like, "Oh, I'm having one of those obnoxious reactions I already do. I always have. I'm so sorry." The fact that she doesn't know that is shocking to me. Because the other question would be, Anthony, why are you with her? What is she providing to you? I don't get it. You would need to tell me right now. She pays for everything. I'm sorry, didn't you hear? She pays for everything. I don't pay for anything. All I got to do is show up and hang out with a baby. And so I'll do that because I get to have sex sometimes. I get to hang out with that baby all the time. And I love hanging out with that baby. Looks just like me. Yeah, I don't know what, but he obviously, it makes no sense, right? I don't think that Ben looks just like him. For some reason, I can't quite tell what Ben looks like. Anyway. He's like, "Baby, I'll tell you why I picked this. It's because I finally decided what my passion is. It's making cheese. You and I love cheese, so I thought, why not bring you here and we can discuss the future of us being cheesemongers together." She's like, "How could you think of these, cheesemonger? I never wanted these. I want to live in a 6-bedroom home in Provence, roll around in lavender, and just pretend I am work for Léo Satan." You know, remember she's trying to do a lavender beauty product business. Remember that? He's like, why don't we just do lavender goat cheese together? Which is true. Oh my God. Just medallions of goat cheese rolled in some lavender and rosemary, like that'd be lovely. They can do both. Why can't you do both? That's what marriage is, compromise. And sacrifice and compromise. That's what I've always said. And you know how many times I've been married. And that's what the secret is. And a great oral sex game. Okay. Um I don't know. I've never been married. All right, my loves, let's move on. Oh, I mean, obviously, she's just like, she feels like he doesn't listen to her. And we're like, well, yeah, no one wants to. It's impossible. You scream, and it's like anytime anyone can turn you off, they will. No one wants to listen to you. You're obnoxious. You are so obnoxious. You're too opinionated. You're not fun. No one wants to have to like deal with you. There's going to have to be at least 6 months where you don't give your opinion and you don't require anyone to listen to you because you've been so horrible. That's the only way to reset. Reset people in your life. It's just literally not have an obnoxious, bad, negative opinion. Just smile at people and be lovely and kind, warm and gracious. No matter what anyone says to you, just for fucking 6 months, you have to be cool and kind, interested, invested, with as much energy as people have to give you. And there'll be a little meter. And when you've like given back that energy and that time and peace to people, only then and then will people give it back to you. It's going to be a long time before that meter reaches it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for liking this video and subscribing. And thank you so much for sharing and doing all the things. I appreciate it. All right. So Chloe and Johnny. Ooh. So we're hot on the heels of Chloe's mom being like, hey, girl, hey, boy, hey, there's one way for us all to get what we want. Eternal life, eternal money, and for me to see my grandbabies. And that's like, girl, if you even think they're going to get there, which you don't. But then she's like, the way is for you all to move to Boston. And there's a pause. Chloe's not the first to talk. He is. He's like, well, we would just want to make sure we do things our way here because when things are hard, when you have to build from the ground up, when you start to really appreciate it. And she's like, that's stupid. That's stupid. As someone who like worked really hard to build something, let me tell you fucking right now that if someone offered you to not have to work that hard, you goddamn take it. He's like, oh no, it's not just that. It's just that I also like it's the water. There's like no water in Boston. I like the water here. Now, obviously, there is water in Boston, but also obviously the water in Aruba is much better. So he gets it. He's like, yeah, no, you can't take that away from me. If I say I like water, what are you gonna say? She's like, no, I get it. I like water too. You know what I do? I use the money that I make in my business to go visit the waters I want to be at all the time. He's like, yeah, I can just live there and live for nothing. It's interesting. It's such a class thing. And I mean, like, she is like baffled by the idea that he would not jump at the opportunity to live what she thinks is a better lifestyle. And he's like, "Oh, I'm 100% happy right where I am. I can't imagine life being better." And if I can't imagine it being better, I also imagine that betterness coming with a whole lot of responsibility and a whole lot of like me having to kiss ass or a whole lot of me not doing what I want to do, which is get, you know, 20-year-old baddies to like climb on my back and then pretend to be a pirate for 3 hours and make money in Aruba, in those waters. Blue is your daughter's eyes, God bless. Ocean eyes. That's what happened, honey. When I first met your daughter, Chloe, Billie Eilish's Ocean Eyes came on and I fell in love with them ocean eyes. Okay. Um, when he was the first to talk, Chloe was like, yeah, what he said. And for a moment I was like, Chloe, you set this up. Chloe and her mom were like, yeah. You get there, make sure everything's cool. You have a little fun. I'll get there. And then we'll show him how hard it is for you here. And then I'll just float the idea, like, what if I just made all your life really easy by just having you move to Boston? We'll just like see what he says. And Chloe was like, no, mom, don't do it. I looked at Chloe's face throughout this entire scene, and she is Switzerland. She's not like how she is in confessionals where she's like, I don't want my mom to like not trust me. I want my mom to da 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 da. Like during the scene with her mom, she's like, yeah. Hey, waiter, can I get some more wine? Yeah, just that's what my focus is letting these people talk about their business, honey, and just like hopefully my mom will win. And she's like, Mom, can I get some wine for you? And the mom's like, not yet, bitch, not yet. I was like, Chloe, I see you. This is like so specific. And if Johnny falls for it, he falls for it. Because he knows. I feel like he knows what's happening. He's like, whoa, wait, wild of you to like bring this up at dinner. It's crazy. He's like, I know I have to show you that I can provide for her. And, it'll be like, I have to, show you that I can like make her comfortable. And the mom's like, well, what would make me comfortable is her at home. And this is a very real thing. Yeah. Chloe's mom is like, he can't possibly keep up with how much she spends, and it's going to be really hard on him, and he's going to figure that out. And I do think that's true because we've seen it already. Like Chloe has already been like, oh my God, gross. You don't have hot water here? Just like pay for it. I don't care how much it is. He's like, what do you mean you don't care how much? $600 a month or whatever. She's like, I'll pay for it. With what? With what money? Your mom's money? Oh, so interesting. So then they go to the beach. And this is where I took a picture, which I've already like low key showed you guys. Because I was like, did Chloe's mom travel with her own Stanley? They go to the beach and they're all hanging out and they're, low key discussing whatever about how they can move to Boston, how hard life is. And Chloe's mom is being like, I don't want to pressure you, but let me just tell you, I'm gonna win. Period. The end. You're done. So I'm just gonna let you know. You can do whatever you want, but there's no way Chloe's not gonna live in Boston. And also, I need you to know how fucked up it is for me. Because you guys are gonna be together for the rest of your lives. You're dumb. So it's annoying for me to have to sit here and listen to you dumb-dumbs talk. Um, she really thinks that Johnny is stupid and has nothing going for him, and he knows it. And he did not do a good job of preemptively making it seem like he isn't. He only now is realizing the work he had to do, and he didn't do that work. So when he's like, I know I have to make your daughter, like, I don't have to make you feel comfortable that I can like take care of your daughter. I think there was a part of, Chloe's mom that was like, oh, that expired. That opportunity expired when I landed. But I landed and I don't feel good. And that was your opportunity to do that. So it's too late. And now I'm giving you a Hail Mary pass, which is you say yes to moving to Boston with my daughter to get my daughter to move back. Either way, she is moving back. But you can either say yes now and me think that you have like some semblance of intelligence by getting like a free job or not. I'm not saying that she's right, but this is what she's thinking. And she's like, and you're telling me through no uncertain terms that you're stupid as fuck because you're gonna just what stay here and do the same old that's garnered you nothing. Is that what it is? She's very judgmental, it's true. And, she also, I think, also is like, my daughter doesn't understand and wants to cosplay as someone that could work this life, and she's not. I raised her, I know her, which is very it's interesting because it makes me feel like, Chloe's mom reminds me of my dad. Except my dad would not like travel to Aruba with his own Stanley Cup. He would never want to carry it. So then it's a hot day as they all go to the beach and she's like, "Hey, babe. Hey, Johnny. Can you get me and my mom a drink? Here's the Amex Platinum." This was bad. Okay. A, Johnny can't let Chloe's mom pay for everything, like drinks and food while she's there. That's part of this. Now, they can't go to nice places as much as they're going, but he has to have like bought her something, a drink, a dinner somewhere or something. That's part of it. And if he can't, he has to stop saying yes to them going out. Because when she's like, "Will you get me and my mom a drink?" And when she hands him her mom's American Express, and when she's like, "Platinum," and he's like, "What?" And he's never seen a hard card before, like one of those metal cards. And she's like, "What? You never seen it before?" I was like, "Oh shit." He should have been like, "Oh no, I got this." And he should have like made it happen or go up to the bartender and be like, "Look, you need to get me these 2 drinks, and then you come to Jolly Pirate tomorrow, the matinee, 5 o'clock ship. I'll get you on for free, and I'll let you climb the plank." I mean, but he took that American Express Platinum card, and I was like, I think in that one moment is where it's the micro moment where Chloe's mom is like, "You'll never be my daughter's husband." It's because people like Chloe's mom and people like my dad want and I'm not saying this is right or this is good or bad. They need someone that's gonna feel like they can take care of their child with a certain amount of like understanding of responsibility, fiscal responsibility, and optics. Because everything is wrapped with like maybe a certain amount of politeness and like optics and respect. And I guess, like it's weird because like, yeah, in this situation, it's not that my dad would get mad at a man for like not paying for my dad, but if I was dating a man that every time that man and my dad and me went out to places, if my dad always put down his credit card and that man I'm dating never tried to pick up the tab, there would be like no respect had. You know what I'm saying? It's just such a bad look. Um, and so in this micro moment of him taking the platinum card and getting the 2 drinks for them, I was like, that's the end. That's it. That is where the Catholic part of me can be like, please turn to number 485 in your music issues and join us in singing. He will raise you up on eagle's wings, honey, because Johnny's chance with Chloe ended right there. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings. Chloe needs someone that understands that even if they haven't been super familiar with an Amex Platinum card, just to like act nonchalant about it or act like it's not a big deal. Because I'm not saying an Amex Platinum card is a big deal because it's not a black card. It's a card that, in retail, if you work in retail, it comes across often enough. It's maybe a status symbol, but it's not a status symbol that is like a hard to get one. You see them. It's like a status symbol like a BMW or a Mercedes is. It's a status symbol, but it's not like so rare, right? Chloe is comes from so much money that she can't have, like, such a discrepancy, I think. And maybe this is where she's going to be like everything that she does and everything her mom does and the way that they act and the way that they are is going to be a constant reminder to everyone involved that the other person doesn't live that way, doesn't feel that way. That's the conversation that I hate to say is the interesting conversation that Chloe's mom should have with Chloe. It's not so much that Chloe can't provide or it's that it's like, "Chloe, I didn't tell you this, but you're young. Not everyone is raised the way you are. And I, if you can't tell, I'm obnoxious. I'm a materialistic, vapid person. I spend money too much. I want the best of the best. I r- I judge people. I feel better about myself when I buy fancy things. And so I've kind of like let you grow up in that way. But other people don't live that way. And such things are distasteful and vulgar to them, as well as like a constant display that you think that you're just living because it's the way you live, and you think it's either funny or cute or not obnoxious to say things like, "You don't know what this card is?" or "Babe," like, that actually is, like, privileged, is entitled, and it's going to create a divide between someone who doesn't think that way. So, 2 things. A, you have to be way more mindful and also stop being so vain, vapid, and materialistic, and that's on me, I raised you that way. Start to have more, I guess, presence and empathy for people in the room with you, and so that when you start to say things like, "Babe, you can't get hot water? Oh my god, I'll totally pay for it. It's $300, like, a month or whatever." It's which she obviously I'm keep quoting that because she said that episode too. You'll start to realize how, like, impolite that is, how that could make someone feel. And if you're trying to create a relationship with that someone, it will divide you. It will create an idea that you think their ways aren't good enough for you. And it's just such a shitty way to like have a relationship. And I think that you have to like tell someone that, especially someone young, especially someone like your daughter that Chloe's mom realizes the minute that Johnny's like, "Yeah, you can get a car for $3,000." And that Johnny's way of getting a car is like a friend off a street, and her way of getting a car is to go into like a dealership, that there was going to be basic ways in which you maneuver through life that is going to cause distress. And it's like not just financial and not just country wise and not just culture wise, but like all of it. And I think that would be a lovely, like emotionally mature conversation to have with your daughter of like, even if she came from a place of like, I see how I raised you in such a way that is going to be off putting for people in your life that you love because, yeah, because I am a somewhat materialistic, snobby, high maintenance person. By the way, I am that. Like Chris Fair is those things. So I understand, like I feel like I understand where I'm coming from this. Like I know that I have been guilty of saying not just things because I'm privileged. I'm guilty of saying things all the time that just are from a place of me not having like an emotionally regulated system or I feel insecure. I did it today. I often will, instead of just saying no and truly sitting in that and just being like, that was enough. No, thank you. I'll just no, but, and then I'll say a bunch of shit that didn't have to be said. That was, that could be considered intense or rude or impolite or weird or just begs questions instead of answers because I just wasn't able to just be like, no, thank you. And I think that when you're young and you're just like talking and you're like in relationships and you're trying to be cool or you're trying to like understand, you can just say things off the cuff that come off as being weird and polite, elitist or all those things privileged. And it would be great to like have, a conversation on camera where like if the mom is like, Chloe, that's what you are. That's what you're doing. You're gonna make us all look bad. But at the same time, maybe this can be like a great learning opportunity for us to realize how we're gonna come off as being like really high maintenance, intense baddies. Uh, Even if we worked for it in relationship to someone who is totally happy living his life, and we just keep pushing on him that he's not doing enough or he's not good enough, which is it, right? Like Chloe's mom's whole thing is come to Boston. You're dumb if you don't. And Johnny's whole thing is like, I'm in paradise. I'm happy. And Chloe is like, Mom, listen, I get it. I get it about the Boston thing. It's just that I can't have a long distance relationship with him. It just will never work. And like, that's when Chloe's mom's like, I'm going to use this against you. Keep going. And Chloe's like, yeah, I don't trust him. Early on in the relationship, like he cheated on me. He invited some stupid girl to Florida. So that's why I can't be away from him. And Chloe's mom's like, oh, huh. Interesting that you think you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone who you can't trust to be in a long distance relationship with. You think that's a good idea. And Chloe's like, fuck. Chloe's whole thing of like, I'm smart enough, I'm good enough, I'm mature, and I definitely can make decisions comes back in her face many different times. Chloe's not smart enough yet to like outwit her mom. And part of Chloe doesn't want to. I think part of Chloe's like, yeah, mom, tell me I'm wrong so that, I can be saved by you, like, go back to Boston where I know comfort and warm water. And like the men that flirt with me down there, a good 6 years younger. I'm not saying, well, actually, I'm sure she gets flirted on with men that are much older than her too. But yeah, Johnny's too old for her, is what I'm trying to say. Um, yeah, like nothing. Chloe's mom by the end of this is, I feel, gonna chew off Johnny's goddamn face. She's not happy. And I mean, half of me is like, she does say that she's gonna give Johnny a piece of her mind, and I want to be like, is that before or after the pina coladas? Also, are you gonna drink any lava flows? Also, are you gonna drink any mai tais? Mom just makes a final plea to Chloe. She's like, "Are you fucking stupid? You come back here. This shit's not gonna goddamn last. He's gonna cheat on you if he cheated on you already with that girl." And then it's interesting because Chloe's like, "Yeah, mom, you're so hard," because it's like, yeah, in a perfect world, maybe he didn't like invite the girl to Florida. And yeah, maybe in a perfect world, everything just went so super easy in the beginning. And it's hard because sometimes, every relationship is rocky. And I think that you can think that everything is supposed to be great. And if people don't tell you about some of their mess, you will abandon what could be a great relationship because things require work and a process. And it's hard to understand like the difference between that. Chloe's mom is like, yeah, girl, not in a fucking perfect world. You operate in a low expectation world. You are expecting low shit, and so that's what you're getting. You don't understand like to how to have respect for yourself in your relationship to know like that you shouldn't put up with things. And I feel like that back and forth of what you put up with and what is like good for you in a relationship and like what you deserve goes up against in your mind what is the normal ebbs and flows of what is the process of two people coming together continually, day in, day out. Two different people, two different hearts, two different mindsets, two different worlds, having to continually choose to spend another day together is going to be at some times wrought with challenge. Hopefully not all the time, and hopefully also like beautiful and full of moments. And I think that it can be, especially when you're young, very confusing to like know which is which. Am I being treated unfairly? Am I being treated poorly? Am I being treated like I don't deserve this? Or do I have to have space for someone who is going through their own shit and, you know, we have to understand how to communicate and what best serves our needs. And yeah, how do you know how to move through that? Because I think Chloe in this conversation with her mom, like, doesn't know the answer. It's funny because I remember, yeah, like, obviously Luke and Madeleine, he's older and she's younger, and she's very bossy and he's, like, not. And Johnny and Chloe are somewhat the similar situation. And it's funny because Luke, when he was talking about Madeleine, he's like, "I'm just, I don't know if I can do this, like, I just let a 20-year-old yell at me all the time," which I think, is true, and he's a dum-dum for doing that. Johnny won't let Chloe yell at him like Luke lets Madeleine yell at him, and I don't think Chloe has, like, the toxic qualities to do that, and I do think that Chloe likes Johnny more than Madeleine likes Luke. But I do think that all down the road, Johnny is also going to have, like, a 20-year-old really yell at him a lot. Um, yeah, we are gonna get Chloe's mom, who's going to be able to come at Johnny with all the things she hates about him, that he's taking away her daughter, that he's not a good businessman, that he won't kowtow to what she wants, which is to move to Boston, and he had the audacity to invite someone to Florida when they were dating. Um, it's not Chloe's mom's place to talk about that last part. She can talk about all the other parts. Maybe. She can really just tell Chloe what she thinks and then leave. But the truth of the matter is, Chloe's mom can only doesn't have a place to tell Johnny anything, but what's unspoken is she's seemingly being allowed to by Chloe. So I just think that's interesting. That's the end of the episode, my loves. Can you believe we talked for an hour about a show that was 45 minutes? I mean, I'll tell you right now, so many things. So, um, yeah, to catch up on, Manon loves business casual, which she looks like she's, again, from like an Ann Taylor loft, straight out. And I do want to try that cheese, especially if I can get the one kind of cheese that's still made from goat cheese. Madeline and Luke broke up, and Maid Beauty's obviously gone, and obviously Family Cafe is gone. Sumit and Jenny are still together. Rohit, I'm not quite sure. That was the end. What'd you guys think? Thank you so much for being here and spending time with me. Um, I love the fact that Johnny doesn't want to be in Boston, and I feel like Johnny is going to hopefully be able to tell off Chloe's mom in a way that's like, "I don't need to be rich. I don't care about that. If you do, there's the door, and there's the plane, and there's the seatbelt for the plane. There are the air masks." Um, because if the thing about it is, he can't tell her off in front of Chloe, but he can if he could find a way to respectfully let her know that they are just fine choosing the life that they decide choosing the life that they're living, and allowed there to be space and breath for Chloe then to have to either agree with him or take her back and go with her mom. That'd be the best scene. Like, there almost is a part of their story that feels like it's going to end with, like, Chloe and Johnny being on two sides. Sorry, Chloe's mom and Johnny being on two sides, and Chloe like a little puppy in the middle and being like, "Who you gonna go to? Come here. Come back to Boston. Come here." And then Johnny's like, "Aruba, Jamaica, come here, blue eyes." Uh, sorry, blue water, ocean eyes. And I think Chloe's gonna go back to Boston. Anyway, that was the end of the episode. Like I said, on the docket, we are following Sister Wives and Toe. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives drops their tell-all, I believe, on December 3rd. And the 10 episodes already exist if you want to look back on some of my recaps. Obviously, 90 Day fiance before the 90 days drops, and I'm excited about that. What else are you guys watching? Tell me what you guys are into. Please like and comment this video, and then after it goes up, make sure to comment. That would definitely help. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube, Chris Farah here, or like my Facebook page, Chris Farah on Facebook. I have a group, Vanity Farah, on Facebook too. Thank you so much for spending this hour with me. And if you were here for Sister Wives, the past 3 hours with me, God bless. I'm Chris L. Farah on Instagram and TikTok, and I have a fun, as I said, 90-day news roundup that I'll be making. So you can get all the news that's happening on the streets, on the Instagram and Reddit in the 90-day multiverse in under a minute. You can see that. Please go and comment there. You can, and I'll know like your handles across the way. That'll make me happy. So Chris Farah on YouTube, Chris L. Farah on TikTok and Instagram. I have my Substack, Chris Farah, of course, Vanity Farah, my Facebook group. I certainly appreciate you guys here. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you get a lot of turkey lurkey time and that you get to hug someone great, even if it's yourself. Ugh. All right, my loves. I'm sorry about that. Let's take a little cleansing breath, get that horrible joke out of our systems, take a beautiful breath that'll like really get us grounded, and then we'll be able to go on our merry ways and spend some time next week together. All right. Okay, let it all out. This feels good. Feels present. I'm present with you all. Thank you so much for being here in the room with me. Thank you for liking this video, and thank you for listening to the stupid ass voice for so long. All right, my loves, make sure that you take care of yourselves, okay? Make sure you take care of someone else too. And there's so many ways, again, to take care of someone, like opening doors for them or smiling at them or making sure you're present as someone talks to you so you really hear what they say. And then you comment on what they just said, the last thing they said. There's so many ways. You know, don't be afraid to touch someone not romantically that you have consent to touching. I don't think we have a lot of human contact anymore. So maybe someone just needs like a little like back pat or a little hand squeeze or just a little forearm connection. Try and give like some part of yourself today, this week. Because yeah, I think the small kind of like micro moments really add up for people sometimes. Oh, yay. Yeah. Everyone's name looks different. It's so funny. All right, my loves. Thank you so much. Again, I told you what to do. Take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe. Make art. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving week. Follow me. Tell me where you are. Tell me your handles on all the things. Tell me what to watch. I have a lot more coming, and I have some great news coming and some exciting things on the docket. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.